It's Faith After Dark. Hope you're doing good today. Have you had a good day? I hope you have. Did you do your best? I hope you did your best. I was preparing for tonight and I looked up and whoa, it's already time. So if you've been watching the news, it could easily be assumed that the world seems to be falling apart. But this isn't the first time we've been here. It's not even the first time as a nation we've been here. I purposely record these after a long day when ideally I'm not camera ready and I'm tired. But you are worth it, and I've missed you, and I hope you're doing good. I hope you did your best. And above all things, I hope that you have no fear. The headline is, when the world seems to be falling apart, you must gain the warrior mind, the warrior mindset. I've had it since I was a little boy. I've known good and evil and the battle between good and evil since I was a boy. And I'm only seeing what I knew I would see. A lot of us have seen these days coming, especially those of us who have been involved in ministry or media. Uh, just seems like yesterday. 15 years ago, I was a correspondent for Act for America, interviewing people around our country wearing disguises because their lives were threatened by the DNC. And how time flies. But nothing good comes out of fear. But if you have the warrior mentality, then you don't have to walk in fear. There's a famous quote, in times of peace, prepare for war. And there's a lot of wisdom to that, you know. To have the warrior mind is to not be taken by surprise. I'll never forget training Chinese Kempo with Derek Murrow. We were going to Bible college, and Derek had done some stunt work and bodyguard work, and totally changed my life when he taught me the mentality. The warrior mentality is seizing the offensive. The hunted becomes the hunter. You don't have me, I've got you. And when I got you, God help you. You know, you learn to take a hit, even if it means drawing the enemy in. The warrior mentality. How do you apply that right now? How do you do that when you're taking your kids to school or driving with your wife, traveling for work? How do you do that? Well, number one, you understand that we are in a battle between good and evil. We always have been. It's more visible now. Secondly, you make a determination to never be taken by surprise. You've seen the tactics that are being used by the communists here in America. Whatever label they put on, they're the same heads of the same snake, and their tactics. Do you have in your car the means to protect your family? Are you depending on law enforcement or the military to protect you? Do you have the things in your car that if you had to leave your car, uh, you are prepared to make a hike to get out of trouble? You know, do you have the things in your go bag or in your car that if you needed to, you become a gray man? And if you don't know what a gray man is, you need to research that. You have to prepare. I'm not fearless um, because I'm fearful, and I prepare because I'm afraid. I just have a fearless spirit. But pragmatically, not everyone you're going to be with is going to have a fearless spirit. Do you have the ability to protect the people that you're with? I'll never forget meeting this man, fascinating man, about 17 years ago. And he used to kidnap for the United States government. And yes, they kidnap. And interesting fellow. I'll never forget. I really liked him. We were fast friends. He was hired to siege a factory in Kansas, and just when the SWAT team thought they had closed in on him, he says, "You think you've got me?" And he struck one of the SWAT members. He's a Hoi Chi master, and he struck him in a way the guy could not undo his arm until he applied the pressure points again. Very, very James Bond kind of guy. I'll never forget, you know, eating salad in his house in Tulsa, and he says, "Hey, look at this," and it's an AK-47. Very interesting guy, but he talks about a three-man militia. Every man should have a three-man militia in his neighborhood because he foresaw these days. We even tried to prepare churches for church shooters. They weren't interested 17 years ago. Somehow I think they're probably interested now. You know, to be prepared, Sun Tzu, he wrote The Art of War, the 5th century BC, and very wise. You ought to check some of that out. But he said, when you are strong, appear weak. And when you are weak, appear strong. You need to take on the warrior mentality. There's no wasted movement. Everything becomes a weapon. Everyone becomes a weapon. And there are no rules when you are forced to fight. Gain the warrior mind. Don't be taken by surprise. It's a thinking game. The war is won in the general's tent. Be prepared. If you're in a large city and these goons that are hired from foreign players and domestic, uh, just try to avoid as much as you can being in places that can be blocked off, where you can be stranded. These are interesting times. I've been seeing these times for a very, very long time. Um, don't be afraid. Jesus tells us not to be afraid, but we're also told not to be ignorant of the enemy's schemes. And the enemy's schemes is to kill, steal, and destroy. George Washington said to be prepared for war is one of the most effectual means of preserving peace. Right now, we are seeing peace through strength. And that's what it takes when you're dealing with rabid, soulless animals. And I pray that Trump will deputize regulators. We could fix the problem in a week. But until then, have no fear. Don't be taken by surprise. Take on the warrior mind. Know the battle is the Lord's, but do not be ignorant of the enemy's schemes. Be ready to fight like a warrior who is already dead. If I die, I win. If I live, I win to live another day. So be blessed, be fearless, and become the warrior you are destined to be. This has been another Faith in the Dark.